Hello everyone, this is the lecture series of Operation Research subject, and the course code of this subject is ME405 and unit number 3rd. And today lecture number is lecture number 18, and I will start the topic regarding decision theory in this lecture. For my introduction, myself Rahul Kumar, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Suresh Gyan, Vihar University, Jaipur. For the decision theory, this is a theory regarding about the decision, and the subject is not very unified one to the country. That are many different ways to theories about the decisions, but you may consider one decision for the betterment of this people, and therefore also many different research traditions. And this text attempt to reflect some of the diversity of the subject, and it emphasizes on the less mathematically and technical aspects of the decision theory. And in the last lecture I have discussed about the decision making process, but this is a decision theory, and how to use this decision to the other people, because today is atmosphere and weather conditions are very typical. So you take decision about the shall I bring the umbrella today. So this is your decision on your depend on, or we can say that this decision depend on your thinking process, and this decision depend on the sometimes which I don't know nearly whether I will run or not. But if rain it will come, then your decision is wrong here. And for the second case, and second thinking of the decision, just like I am looking for a house to buy. Shall I buy this one or not? This type of decision depend on your quality. And this, suppose this house is fine and it have created some problem, but perhaps I will find a still better house for the same price. If I go on searching, when shall I stop the search procedure? So these are the, if you will get a better option regarding this decision theory, then your search it will stop here. So this is the decision theory policy. So go to the objectives of the decision theory. These are the different kinds of objectives related to the decision theory, and these objectives refer to the determination of the decision theory for organization. In the case of operation research subject, we will consider only the case of organization, and the student able to understand the concept of decision theory analysis in this lecture, and a student the problem solving technique. And one more thing is how to solve this decision theory problem, and steps are related to the decision theory problem. These are involved in this chapter. So we will go to the introduction of this decision theory. Suppose here decision theory represent a general approach. The decision theory gives a general approach to decision making which is suitable for a wide range of management decisions. Including capacity planning, location planning, product mix, credit policies, equipment selection, and product and service design. Product and service design. For the first is here capacity planning, means how much items you will produce in one day or in 1 year. This is the capacity plan. The planning regarding this, and you will take decision regarding this storage capacity on the raw material purchasing capacity. So these are the capacity planning. And the second is location planning. So if you want to construct one company, and this company location is far away the city, so this is the waste location for your company, because labor cost is increases, and transportation cost is also increases. So your location is this, so that location is bad. For the product mix strategies, here are in one company you will obtain different types of products, like as a different types of product means different varieties of products. Suppose you open a one mechanical workshop, so you can create some agriculture products like cultivator or trolley or any one seed roper, or different type of product or for the agriculture equipments. So this is the product mix decision theory. So some items are required in the summer and some items required for the winter. So planning regarding this and that planning requires some decision. So this is the product mix quality. And the product and service design, suppose everybody wants change in some time, so all products wants also change in the design and the service quality. So you update your design and service day to day, and the equipment selection. Present time, this is a era of modernization in the case of, and in the case of the digital era or the robotic machinery are used. So you update your workshop always. Because if you have a old equipment, then you cannot stay in the market, because some company take new instrument, but you have a old instrument, so your product is not good and for the competitor. So competition is very high at that time. So you always are very curious at the type of or at the time of equipment selection. And the credit policies, these are the credit policy depend on your decision. Suppose you think the iron cost is after 2 months this will goes on increasing, so you just purchase the more amount of iron bars for the future work. So this is the credit policy in the mechanical industries only, right? So these are the some decision theories related to credit policies, right? And next thing is here problem formulation. What type of problem are suffer if you will take a good decision theory. So a decision problem is characterized by decision alternatives. These are the state of nature and the resulting payoff. resulting payoff. The decision alternatives are the different possible strategies. The decision alternative have different type of strategies the decision maker can employ, and the decision under the state of the nature refers to the future events, and this decision not under the control of decision maker, and which will ultimately affect the decision result, and stage of the nature just means this is depend on the environmental problem and environmental issues related to this problem, and state of nature should be defined so that they are mutually exclusive and contain all possible future events that could affect the result of all potential decision, So you will choose the problem formulation analysis for this case. So here are the two problem formulation strategies. One is decision alternative and the state of decision. Sometimes some decisions are very crucial. In the case of court, the court has to decide whether the defendant is guilty or not. So this is the other type of decision making policies, and here there are two mistakes that the court can make, namely to convict an innocent person and to acquit a guilty person. When principles should be court apply if it is considered the first of this mistake to be more serious than the second. So here the decision is depend only for the one person, because he saw only truth of the people, but he cannot see the situation of the problem. So decision under the one person, he don't know about this. Some person is guilty and some person are innocent people. So this is a single person decision, but a committee has to make a decision. This is the other problem. If a committee constitutes the one decision, but its member have a different opinion. So what rules should they use to ensure that they cannot reach a conclusion even if they are in disagreement? Right? So you take decision for the conclusion of this both two examples. Decision, any type of decision, this is not a single decision. Decision depend on your bunch of the people, right? Or you constitute a committee and committee decide any work, right? So this is better for the company and better for the organization, right? And because of the almost everything that a human being and does involve decisions, and therefore the theories about decision is almost same as that of theories about the human being. And however, decision theory is not quite as all embracing as that. It focus only some aspect of human activity. This is a one type of human activity. In particular, it focuses on how we use our freedom, and in the situation treated by decision theories, there are options to choose between, and we choose in a non-random ways. Our choices, our expectations by the other persons, and sometimes situation is good and sometimes situation is bad, but we choose in a non-random way. Decision theory is concerned with goal, directed behavior in the presence of option. But the moral of this decision theory is only decision. If you will take decision, then this decision completed by the person just like as this decision only give better result or profit to the organization. So these kinds of decision are very good for this case. Then here this is the payoff table which gives the analysis regarding payoff type of decision and the consequences result from the specific combination of a decision, which alternatives and a state of nature is a payoff. Means the combination of consequences resulting from a specific combination of decision alternatives, which gives a one state of nature decision. This is called the payoff. And the table showing payoff for all combination of decision, alternative and state of the nature of this payoff table. And payoff can be expressed in terms of profit, cost, distance, time or any other appropriate measures. And this is the fundamental of decision theory, and this fundamental decision theory gives a decision alternatives, state of nature and the payoff. If we consider a course of action or strategies, in the decision alternatives are the course of action or strategies, you will adopt one strategy and the decision planning better outcome. These are the fundamental of decision theory, and this is divided into three terms. First is decision alternatives, state of nature and the payoff, and courses of the action or strategies and occurrence over which decision maker has no control, and the quantitative measure of the outcome. So here is courses of the action or strategies. These are the two things. If you want better result in your organization, then you will adopt one strategy, and this strategy always give profit to your organization. So, and this is the state of nature event. This one type of event where the no control of the decision maker, and payoff is this is the quantitative measure, and for this OR, here are the two types of measure. First is quantitative and second one is qualitative. But in the payoff period, only quantitative measure of the outcome are considered in this study, right? So for this analysis, we adopt different types of decision divided into different types, and this is the identification problem, obtaining necessary information and production of possible solution, evaluation of such solution, and the selection of a strategy for the performance, and they also include a 6 stage, and which is better for the good decision. And this is the decision environment, and this decision environment gives a better decision under these conditions, and these conditions are certainty, risk and the uncertainty. So the decision under the uncertainty condition, this is a very tough task for any people. So in the decision theory, utility of these matrices are combined with various types of information about state of the nature, and this state of nature belongs to the environmental decision under the environmental conditions. And the limiting case, the decision maker may know which state of nature will obtain. If we consider one example, I know that it will rain today, but this makes my decision very simple. This makes the decision very simple in this case. Case like this, when only one state of nature needs to taken into account, our decision are called the decision making under certainty. If you know, suppose in the case of this one incident before 2 or 3 days that was happened in this Jaipur, so this is a very crucial type of condition, and the decision policy is here good, but result is very bad, because in the Amer fort one tower is situated, and in this tower some place is here on inside this tower. So suddenly rain come at that time, so all the peoples cover the yourself with the rain and go to the tower suddenly. But in the environmental conditions, suddenly lightning is falls on this tower, so lot of people are died. And so here decision is good, because everybody reduce the risk of the rain, because if rain will come, then some person are sick or other type of disease. So present time corona is going on, so everyone people fear about this, so all go only cover the rain. And at that time some environmental condition it will happen, and it was create a one very hazardous problem regarding lightning of this tower. So this is very bad situation, and this shows the uncertainties. So some people says always life is uncertain, so this is the good example of life is uncertain of result. And in this if anybody knows about this, so they don't go here, but this is a very uncertain decision. So if you know for each alternatives which will be outcome, if you choose that alternative, then you act under certainty, right? And if not, then you act under uncertain, right? So if you know what will happen before after 1 hour, you don't know, but you know what was happened before 1 hour. This is a certain type of decision. But what will happen or what will be happen in the future, this is uncertain decision, right? And anything it will happen in your case, or any type of people case. So this decision environment divided into 3 types. First is certainty, risk, and uncertainty. The certainty means environment in which relevant parameters have known values, and for the risk, environment in which certain future event have probable outcomes, and for the uncertainty result, environment in which it is possible to access the likelihood of various future event. So these are the decision environments also. So we go to next slide for this case, and after going to next slide, just give you some more clarification about this. And non-certainty is usually divided into further categories, further categories. These are the such as risk, uncertainty and ignorance. And the locus clausus for the subdivision is who pointed out on that used of everyday speech in the economic decisions, but really cover two things which functionally at least in their causal relation to the phenomena of economic organization are categorically different. In some cases risk means a quantity, in some cases a risk means a quantity susceptible for management, and in the other cases sometimes distinctly not of their character. So these are the different other type of decision under risk. So what the difference between risk versus uncertainty? So here it will give some ideas about the risk and the versus the uncertainty. It must make a decision for which the outcome is not known, which with certainty means you know the certain result, but outcomes you don't know, because if this is a one, I will give one example for this. A lathe machine worker, he always make a good job, and every day it was make a 10 pieces, but suddenly break down in the lathe machine. So means certainty result means if he will work today for 10 hours, it will give the 10 work piece, but suddenly breakdown it will come. So what will happen here? It reduces the production. It reduces the production, which will directly affect on the cost of company, which will directly affect on the cost on the company. So this is the risk about the decision. So it must make a decision for which the outcome is not known with certainty, and it cannot list all possible outcomes and assign probabilities to the outcomes, right? And for the uncertainty means all things going as a wrong way, right? Wrong way, or we cannot say all things is going on the wrong way, but something is not good here. So in the uncertainty, it cannot list all possible outcomes, and it cannot assign probabilities to the outcome. It cannot assign probabilities to the outcomes. And for the certainty result means previous, you consider the previous data. And for the meaning of certainty is here, you know the result of this machine, and every day it was make a 10 units per day, but it is an environment in which future outcomes or state of nature are known, right? For the previous prediction of the data. And this is a one example is here. This gives the some fact about risk, uncertainty and the certainty. Example is investment of FD, right? So FD is the better for the money, because it will give after 10 years, it will give the double money. But this is the here no risk is associated. Only risk is if bank it will going to loss. So your FD is converted into the RBI rules, right? And if all things is going in a good way. So it will give a, after 10 years, it will give a double amount, right? So this is the investment of the FD. This will come under the certainty of the result, and there is a certainty regarding future payment on maturity, right? So this will certain thing. But for the risk example, you invest your money in the shares. So in the case of shares, these all are belongs to the first, this is belongs to the uncertain policies, and this is always related to the share markets. So sometimes share markets it will go up and sometimes it will go down. So this is very risky for your money. Suppose you invest 10 lakh for this any company. Suppose this company creates more profits, so you will get good money. If this is create not more profit, or a company goes on the loss, so your money it will reduce. So this is a very risky chance. So this is a risk. And one more thing for the uncertain, right? One thing is SIP, simple investment plan. Here the growth is uncertain, but at the beginning period, he always give you one dream like this. Your amount is 22% hike in after 10 year and 20 year, but it will not happen, right? Because of here is very high chance to uncertainty. Sometimes market is will go and sometimes this will not go. So here is some uncertainty condition it will occur. So investment in shares fetching results higher than FD in another 2 years. This is a uncertain, right? So this is the example of certainty and uncertainty and the risk associated these certain results. So if I am talking about the certainty, if each action is known to lead invariably to a specific outcome, just like as a words prospect, simulates, alternative are also used. And in the case of risk, if I am talking about risk, if each action leads to one of a set of possible specific outcome, each outcome occurring with a known probability. The probability are assumed to be known to the decision maker. So probability sometimes it may be go up and sometimes it may be go down. This is depend on this market, right? And for the uncertain result, if either action or both has its consequences of a set of possible specific outcomes, but where the probabilities of these outcomes are completely unknown or are not even meaningful. So this is type of certainty is called uncertainty. So here in the uncertain, all types of result are going to wrong way, right? So this is the criteria for decision making under uncertainty. This is the criteria of decision making under uncertainty. These are the 5 ways to find the good decision under uncertain condition. Suppose this is a figure of one man which don't know about the backside what will happen, but he take decision only the previous data. Only the previous data means he can use some mind about regarding the past problem, and then some conclusion it will take for this decision. So these are possibilities here: optimism, pessimism, equal of probabilities, coefficient of optimism, and the regret. These are the maximum or minimum, maxim or minimax, and equal possibility like a Laplace, and coefficient of optimism Harvard's, and the regret just a salvage. So these are the some methods regarding the decision making under uncertainty conditions. So we move to the next method. Here this is a one example regarding strategies and the row maximum minimum criteria. So here are the three strategies. One is S1, second one is S2, and third one is S3 is here. So the state of nature possibilities is here, N1, N2, N3. These are the for the S1 strategy, these are the 7,000, 3,000 and 1,500. Similar for this, and similar for S3 strategies. Then the row maximum condition is here, 7,000, 5,000 and 3,000 is here. So choose the alternative for the best possible payoff. What is the best possible payoff is here? 7,000. This is the best possible payoff value. So we consider the here the minimum payoff is here 3,000 and the maximum payoff is here 7,000. So here we will first we will consider the maximum payoff. So for the maximum payoff is here 7,000. Hence the company should adopt a strategy S1 for this case, right? So this is depend on the previous year data. So in this case, this company refers to a S1 strategy for the maximum payoff of 7,000. This is the case of Prismism. In this case, choose the alternative with the best of the worst possible payoff. So here this is the payoff is here 0, and here is payoff is here 1,500, and here for the strategy 3 payoff is here 3,000. So the better result for the maximum payoff is here 3,000. 3,000 is the maximum payoff. So the act decision will with higher minimum values is 3,000. Hence the company should adopt S3 strategies. In this case, company adopt the S3 type of strategies, right? So this is the second kind of strategy under uncertainty condition. Third is here Laplace criteria. Laplace criteria give the equal possibilities. Under these assumptions, all state of nature are equally likely, and the decision maker can compute the average payoff for each row, and the sum of the possible consequences of each alternative is divided by the number of state of nature, and then select the alternative that has the highest row average. So this kind of Laplace criteria or equal possibilities gives this type of result. So this is the decision maker can compute the average payoff for each row. The sum of possible consequences of each alternative is divided by the number of state of nature, right? So this is a example of the Laplace criteria. For this example, here the strategies are S1, S2 and S3, and state of nature is here N1, N2, N3. So the maximum payoff period for the row maximum is here. So S1 strategy gives the maximum payoff period for the row maximum. So any company select only S1 strategy. So the largest expected return is from strategy S1. The executive must select S1 strategy only, right? And so this is the Laplace criteria case. And then move to the next criteria for the better result. This is the coefficient of optimism and Harvard's criteria. And in this criteria, this represent certain compromise between the optimistic and the pessimistic approach to decision under making certain uncertainty conditions, and for each alternative select the largest and lowest payoffs, values, and multiply these with alpha and 1 minus alpha values respectively. Then calculate the weightage average using formula H coefficient of optimism equal to alpha maximum in column plus 1 minus alpha minimum in column. Select the best answer, right? And for this case select the best answer, and which this best answer gives the maximum strategy or good result for this strategy case. And then go to the, and this is the best possible ways for the Howard's criteria. Here the strategies are S1 strategy, then strategy 1 gives the better result. So any company adopt only strategy 1 for this case. So you will go to last criteria. This is the regret salvage rule. In this rule represent the pessimistic approach, and the opportunity loss reflect the difference between the each payoff and the best possible payoff in a column. And for each course of action identify the maximum regret value, record this is no in a row, and select the course of action with the smallest anticipated opportunity loss value. So in this case only S1 strategies gives the less possibilities, or it will give the less result. So we adopt the companies should adopt minimum opportunity loss strategy S1. So move to the next section of this lecture. This is the MCQ question. This is the problem number 1. A situation in which the decision maker knows all the possible outcomes of a decision and also knows the probability associated with each outcome is referred to as a certainty, risk, uncertainty strategy. So this comes under the certainty condition. So A is the correct answer. Then move to the next answer. This is the second MCQ problem. Which of the following methods of selecting a strategy inconsistent with risk everything behavior if two strategies have the same expected profit? So in this case B is the right answer for this question, right? Which one of the following does measure risk? Coefficient of variation, standard deviation, expected value, all of the above measure the risk. So all of the above are measure the risk. This is the D. D is the final answer. And move to the next question. If a person utility doubles when their income doubles, then that person is a risk, average, neutral, seeking. There is no enough information given in a question to determine an answer. So correct answer is here D. D is the correct answer for this question. The coefficient of variation measures the risk per unit expected payoff, the risk adjusted expected payoff, the payoff per unit risk, and the decision making risk return trade-off. So the B is the right answer, the risk adjusted expected value. Correct answer for this question. Then move to the next question. If a decision making is risk average, then the best strategy to select is the one that leads to highest expected payoff, lowest coefficient of variation, highest expected utility, and lowest standard deviation. So the correct answer for this highest expected utility for this case. And then move to the next. Circumstances that influences the probability of a decision are referred to as strategies, a payoff matrix, states of nature, the marginal utility of money. So correct answer is here C is the state of nature, right? And then go to the next. The marginal utility of money dismisses for a decision maker who a risk seeker, risk neutral, a risk averter, in a situation of uncertainty. So who is the risk seeker? So A is the right answer for this question. And then go to the next question number 9. A strategy that yields an expected monetary payoff of 0 is called the risk neutral strategy, fair game, zero sum game, uncertainty equivalent. This is the risk neutral strategy. So go to the next. A risk return trade-off function shows the minimum expected return required to compensate an investor for accepting various levels of risk. Slope of upward for a risk average decision maker is horizontal risk neutral decision, and all of the above correct. So for this correct answer is all of the above correct for the risk return trade-off function. So these are the different types of references given in uncertain conditions. For this lecture is here, and thank you for this lecture, for your kind attention here, and thank you for this.